Auschwitz, a place of unimaginable horror, where over 1 million lives were mercilessly extinguished and unspeakable atrocities were committed. In the midst of this darkness, a courageous spy voluntarily entered Auschwitz, risking everything to uncover the truth. This is the gripping tale of one man's mission in the heart of hell. Why did he choose to enter this dreadful place? And why did the Allies leave him behind, alone and unprotected in the midst of unimaginable horrors? These incidents took place back in time when nobody was allowed or maybe left alive to know the nitty-gritties of what was happening inside the camp. Also, there were several rumors about it, but everyone remained unknown of the real truth. Therefore, a spy was mandatory to bring the realities forward in front of the whole world. That man was, we told, Pilecki. But let's delve into who was the spy and what did he find. In 1940, 39-year-old Witold Pilecki, a veteran of the Polish-Soviet War, offered to work in the concentration camp. Pilecki's goal was to let himself be arrested and, once inside Auschwitz, to gather information for the Polish resistance in Poland as well as to organize a resistance from inside the camp. The first thing he found terrible was the amount and condition of foods that were given to prisoners. The food was so lacking in quantity and were given with an intention for the death of prisoners in less than 6 weeks. It was obvious that if someone survived more than 6 weeks, they were called thieves who stole food in order to survive a day or longer. Pilecki was driven by a strong mix of unwavering determination, patriotism, and a deep-seated desire to show how the Nazis were cruel. Infiltrating the concentration camp Auschwitz was a difficult job that required careful planning, courage, and a strong commitment to the cause. The spy got into the heart of darkness by using a mix of clever lies, fake documents, and a good cover story. Pilecki used the name Serafinsky when he was booked. He wasted no time after entering the facility in establishing a communication system among the convict population. His stated goal was to organize a military group within the camp to maintain morale, disseminate information about the outside world, provide for the basic needs of inmates, smuggle information about the camp out of the facility, and be ready to seize power by force if necessary. His group was part of the Polish resistance and went by the abbreviation ZOW, which was Union of Military Organizations. The ZOW placed a premium on maintaining its anonymity. The organization Pilecki established in Auschwitz was structured around a system of groups. He placed people in various work units to gather intelligence on what was happening inside Auschwitz. The use of gas chambers and the toxic Zyklon B gas initially came to light in Pilecki's findings. In early September 1941, he witnessed the Nazis using Zyklon B gas for the first time to murder 850 Soviet POWs. He heard from other members of the resistance about the camp's gas chambers. At one point, ZOW noted over 1,000 a day from the new transports were gassed. Pilecki's network of resistance fighters inside the camp had convinced him that with help from the Allies and the Polish underground, they could seize control for a brief period of time and escape. He expected that weapons would be dropped from the sky and that Allied troops would storm the camp. But the Allies never intended to launch such an operation, and the Polish underground in Warsaw was unwilling to launch an assault because of the high number of German forces in the area. Pilecki couldn't count on anyone's support. Pilecki told no one in 1943 that the Nazi guards were killing ZOW resistance members in an organized way. Then Pilecki planned his escape in early 1943. After achieving his goal of creating a resistance within the camp, he decided to wait for a Polish resistance attack to rise up from within. Due to Gestapo camp security, Pilecki lost numerous trainees and finally escaped on April 13, 1943, but was soon captured. Pilecki put his life in danger to sneak messages to the Allies after spending nearly 3 traumatic years inside the camp. 3 long years spent under horrific circumstances in Auschwitz. However, his plot for liberation failed, and he was caught in 1944 during the Warsaw Uprising. He was kept again in a different camp after the war ended, so there was no respite. Afterwards, he was sentenced to death and executed. How long do you think you would have survived if you were in Pilecki's shoes? Leave a comment.